Veronika, welcome back. Here we are again, back to studio.
Thank you so much for having me back. It's so nice to be back, and it's such an incredible feeling. And actually, we just discussed that it feels quite nice to be back, isn't it?
And I feel like last time we didn't have enough time. I don't think would ever be enough time to go through everything when it comes to you and your life and your story and anything and everything that inspires me when I hear Veronika Walker.
Oh.
So here we are, and today we're gonna do a short episode, and what we want to focus on the girl behind the crown, the girl who grew up in Lithuania, which is really important because also you represent Lithuania this year at Mrs. World next year, 2026. And yeah, we wanted to know more about like your childhood, about you growing up in Lithuania, and I think it's a lot to speak about.
I would say so. There is so much behind the crown because I am still a real person. This is a job. And, everyone would know that there is a job and there is a reality as well. So I've been born and raised in Lithuania by a single mother, which it already sounds not so easy, isn't it? I do remember my childhood nice one with the struggles, of course, but I've been in a place full of forests and the smell of fresh bread on the table and the different childhood, I would say, than our children nowadays have. And I do remember running after school to music school for 8 years because I was finishing 2 schools at the same time, and I have a music degree. Because of that.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
Did you know that I can play piano, saxophone, and clarinet?
Saxophone, yes, but no other instruments.
Yes. So I do have a degree in music as well, which I brought with me from Lithuania.
Oh my God.
So I finished music school when I was 16. So yes. So I started music school when I was 8.
Oh my God,
it's exactly
that is something I didn't know, and here we are. That's how you learn new things.
Yes, because I do remember. Well, you would know because you are Lithuanian. You would know that the education system is completely different in Lithuania to compare here. And we had a full days from 8 o'clock in the morning up to 4 o'clock. So for 8 years, at 4:45, I started my music school until 8:45. So 4 hours every single day for 8 years. I think apart the weekends.
I think that explains how you can actually do so much like now as an adult, because you've done exactly the same as a kid. You just, had a strict diary from one school to music school, and life never stopped. I think that explains how you can actually carry so much.
This as well, I think strengthened my character because I don't know anything else apart the hard work. So I am a hard crafter, and I am the woman who always delivers 110%. And this was since my childhood because I was number one everywhere. If there is a sport, Veronika's hand goes first. Veronika needs to go and aim for the medal. Or if there is any events at the school or seminars with the school. So I was the one who volunteered to run them and to be that person on stage because I love the audience. I love to interact with the others, and I love to be visible.
I love that. I think sometimes it's interesting. I think when you think about childhood, a lot of times then you can actually see the person even in a different light, and I think explains why you are maybe the way you are today. Also a high achiever, let's just say that, just someone who never stops and then always has so much to give, which is so amazing to hear. And also I was thinking, like, when it comes to like Lithuania, also growing up in Lithuania, do you ever like think and remember like a memory from childhood or something like tradition or something quite special to you that always makes you feel like home?
You know what, I always say it's very easy to leave the country, but the country that you've been brought up in, it always stays with you. So I do have my traditions. I still cook Lithuanian meals because I so love Lithuanian food. And I'm trying to as well organize some Lithuanian food for my children. It's not necessary they're going to eat it, or my husband. But the tradition is still there. You know, the Christmas. So we celebrate the Christmas Eve on the 24th.
You do the way we do back home.
Yes, yes. And you know the hay that we always put underneath the oh my goodness, how it's called, underneath the tablecloth.
Oh, yes.
So I always have that. So we always open the presents on the 25th in the morning, and we celebrate this Lithuanian way, and my husband got used to that. He needs to eat fish, although he is not a fish eater.
So anyone who doesn't know, based in Lithuania, on Christmas Eve, we are not allowed to eat meat, dairy, eggs. Has to be pretty much fish, sometimes pickled fish, and you have to have 12 dishes on the table. So it's quite different from, I think, usual.
Yes, empty plate, that just in case if someone knocks the door.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's like, it's beautiful traditions, slightly different, and it's nice to see that your family took on, and especially like kids and stuff. And then also Christmas morning, that's when the presents come and Santa
Absolutely,
come.
but also, the Lithuanian language, my children don't speak fluently Lithuanian, but they can understand. But because I speak 4 languages, so I'm trying to encourage them at least to listen to the language. They speak Polish. Maybe not perfect, but they have the knowledge. And I believe that educating your children, especially in a marriage where is 2 countries and 2 cultures joined together, like in my case, my husband is Scottish and I'm Lithuanian. So there is no brainer not to introduce this to your children, because they are such a, the children like a sponge. They grasp everything in quite quickly. So if they can bring from the family few languages, they are the winners in the future.
Exactly, because I think it's easiest when you have young kids. They pick up languages so quickly, and sometimes I think it's funny, probably for them to think, which language is this in your head? Because you hear so many languages, and it's like, I think so beautiful that you pass on your traditions as well. Is there any other traditions like you try to keep at home? Also, you said you love making Lithuanian food. Is there any of your favorite ones you would like to?
Well, during the summer, and you would
I know.
Shelty Borщai, I love. If no one from our listeners know about this is a cold beetroot soup.
Or pig soup.
On pig soup. My husband, it stays away when he can see this color. But what can I do? This is in our blood. We've been grew up on this, Or there is kėdainių blynai and žemaičių blynai. That is something that I always try to encourage, because from one side, it's a little bit healthy. Maybe on the other side, don't eat too much. But yes, and I'm trying to keep the connection between Lithuania and Scotland for my children. My mom, she's still there in Lithuania.
Of course, yeah.
And we are visiting very often Lithuania, and especially now, at least 2-3 times a year. Next week we are going again.
Oh my God, that's exciting.
Yes.
That's very good.
So as well for my mom, it's very important for the kid to know the culture, know the language, for even the benefit of her communicating with them.
Of course. I think it's important, especially if she lives still in Lithuania. I know like she visits quite often,
Yes.
but I think it's important, and then it's nice to see it. See also, Veronika, like what I found it very interesting, and I think it's quite inspiring as well. You had a very interesting way you moved here. I think it's very similar to what I done. If I remember correctly, I think it was £500 in your pocket.
Yes.
You moved, if I remember well, to London.
Yes.
And you did potentially not had anywhere to live first week.
Yes.
And I think that's quite humbling. And obviously that's a young person trying, to make
the adult decision.
Just make a dream come true, or follow the dream or vision. How did you end up be like, right, £500 in my pocket, let's go. Don't really have exactly where to stay, because it was it's quite brave as well.
Yes, but do you remember yourself at 18 years old? You
Yes.
can move the mountains without
Without care.
any help, isn't it? And that is what happened with me. So as I mentioned, grew up in a family by a single mother. So sometimes financially we struggled. So I needed to grow up quite quickly. Mm-hmm. As a little girl, I do remember I was helping her earn money, because my mom worked two jobs, and looking after two girls, it was not easy and as well not cheap. And I have a sister who is 5 years older, so she was finishing university that my mom paid for. And that is the year that I needed to go and start university. And that's mean that my mom would need to pay another 5 years. So that is a poor woman 10 years of her life just covering the fees, which is okay because as a parent you would want to do everything best for your child. But because I grew up quite quickly and I thought that I'm independent and I can care for myself and the others, I said no, I can't let her do that. She needs to start to enjoy her own life. So I took the decision that I'm going to go abroad, earn some pennies, come back, and at least I can cover 1 year of my university. Although I never thought to choose the country with the language that I couldn't speak. Because at that time, I spoke German.
Oh, okay. No.
I spoke German, but I couldn't afford ticket to Berlin because it was £50 more expensive. So I chose London. My goodness, that is the way how the blondes think.
So you spoke so many different languages, but wasn't English. Yeah.
Absolutely. So my decision to go to London, it was £50 cheaper ticket.
And here you go, it's completely changed everything, isn't it?
Honestly, I do remember that day when I said to my mom, I purchased London ticket. And she said, you did what? And I said, yes, I'm going to London. And at that point, I never traveled abroad from Lithuania. So 18 years, I was in Lithuania, of course, Palanga, Šventoji, and the places like this.
I was similar. I think I was similar, yeah.
I never been abroad. And now, here you go. I am bringing this to the table to my mom. I'm going abroad to the country that I don't have a clue about. I don't have the language. I don't know anyone.
London is huge as well.
I know, but everyone was going to London. So I said, I'll go too, what to be scared of? But oh my goodness. So we had arguments. My mom was hiding the passport from me, but she knew that I'm stubborn and I'm driven and I'm going to achieve what I want. And I think she just lost that battle with me at that point. And that's it, she felt helpless. And now, as a mother of 3, I know the feeling that she felt, because I can imagine that one day my children are going to come to me and they say, Mom, that's it, I'm moving to Japan, or any other country. And I feel her now, but at that point, I think Lithuania was too small for me.
Because you was ready for next step.
I wanted more. I wanted that better future, I was full of aspiration and inspirations somewhere within me, but I didn't know how to develop that. So I thought the first step, it's done. I'm moving to London. I arrived to London to the Heathrow Terminal 5 or 4, I don't remember now. And I understood, oh my goodness, this is not a joke.
Not anymore.
No word in English, £500, where to go, I don't know. Okay, so there was a buses, there was a transport to go to Hammersmith, and that was my roof above my head for a week. So I spent on a bus station at Hammersmith. I'm sure people will know where the Hammersmith is. And that's it. I didn't know what to do. I've been walking around, and obviously, the hotels, they are expensive. £500, that maybe last me a night, and that's or two. So I stayed, I was walking around the city and trying to get my bearings around. And one day, I think that was on my fourth or fifth day at Hammersmith, I met Latvian girl. I met Latvian girl, but of course Latvians, they can speak Russian. So that was my savior. And we started to chat. She was late for a bus. So actually she was running for a bus and I saw her running and the bus just left. So we had a half an hour, 40 minutes conversation. And she was working at the Hilton Heathrow Terminal 5 as a cleaner in the housekeeping. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, I'm looking for a job. If there is anything thing you can help me with, I will be thankful and I will work and I can pay you, but from my first salary just for a little help. And she organized the job.
Wow. Oh my
And
God.
that management,
Goosebumps?
and that management in Hilton Heathrow Terminal 5 could speak Polish.
And that basically you could then...
How lucky I was, I had that saving lucky shooting star about my head.
Wow.
And with that Latvian girl, she gave me a room, of course, rental, but in Hanslow, that is quite close to the Heathrow, and that is how I started. That was my saving point. But at Hammersmith, I thought, do I go back to Lithuania and admit to my mom that I didn't make it? Or should I try?
And you did.
I did. And only why I had that voice in my head, keep moving. Keep moving.
Veronika, I knew a bit of the story and not the whole story. This is actually insane. I think sometimes, and I think it really shows how making big decision could be scary, but at the same time, I think if it's meant for you, will not walk past you and then made it happen.
Of course, because that is as well the strength of the character. Not everyone can do that. And now I'm quite proud of this because that decision was meant to be. It was for me there. Of course, it was struggle. Of course, I was scared. Of course, I was lonely. But the drive inside me, I think because I grew up in circumstances with my strong mother, just taught me resilience and hard work going to pay off one day.
And no one can stop you from you achieving a goal. See, also then it was a lot happening. Like you were very young, and the young girl in London. Also, your first job was a cleaner job, and then you went up to the management, and you was running even hotel in Edinburgh, which is Scotsman Hotel.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that. So you seen the whole circle of life, when you obviously young person moving away, which I can relate because I've done it seems like a very similar thing, and also the whole process of making happen for you. Like when you look back, obviously I think being Lithuanian, people I think ladies from Lithuania are strong.
We are crafters, we are craft our life.
Definitely, we don't stop. Craft, and then I think it does give you a different type of strength as well.
Yeah.
And see, when you actually look back at that moment when obviously you realized, okay, I got a job, I got a flat. What was life after? Obviously, for the next 6 months, did you find it easier having a job, or was still?
It took me 2 years to clean the rooms. My goodness, it will be 1,000 rooms, I think, for 2 years, because I was working 2 shifts, sometimes 3 shifts, just to make sure that I'm not spending money on food or travel or anything like this. So I had in my mind that I'm going to make it. I'm not going to be here for long, although 2 years, it's long enough, but as well to grow, I needed to learn the language. And you know what? I'm not ashamed now to share that I started as a cleaner.
I think it's quite important. I think it's humbling as well.
Of course, absolutely.
Because you then can say, even for your kids, life is not easy sometimes. I done it all, from, moving with 500 pounds in my pocket, sleeping basically in a bus station, and then not having anywhere to sleep or a roof above my head, to actually now where you are when your life is completely different. I think it's beautiful to see, and it's, I think, inspiring to anyone who wants to do anything in life, that everything is possible if you just put a little hope.
Yeah, absolutely. But also that is a drive and determination for a better future.
Of course.
We are the authors of our own life story. How good we want to be that life story, So that is our choice. Everyone has a choice, and I don't accept when people say I don't have a choice or I didn't have a choice. Everyone has a choice, but most likely the choices are harder.
Very uncomfortable
And
sometimes.
very uncomfortable and very scary, but we are the ones who need to make them.
And to craft them. And of course, it's a big move. It was a cultural probably shock. I remember cultural shock big time. You know, when
Yeah.
I'm moving here, not only language and so many other things, you know, finding work, but I think the cultural shock as well. How did you find that? Also, for being from Lithuania and having like, you know, living in Vilnius and stuff, seeing the certain life, and then obviously England and or, you know, United Kingdom is completely different place, especially when you also it's been a while ago as well.
Yeah. You see, for example, I didn't notice as much of the cultural differences. Of course, every country going to have their own differences, but I've been so focused on myself at that point that I wanted to achieve more that I think this just bypassed me. To be honest, but of course, you know, the stress and the tension of getting the language nailed, that was the big one.
Because it's nothing similar to German. It's nothing similar to any other language. Maybe because I studied German before, so maybe some bits are compared to other languages. you hope so, but it's completely different. And then obviously it comes through as you know, another challenge you didn't probably expect. See, when you actually think now or look back, obviously you know that hard work pays off. But was any moment you like thought, is it for me? Do you want to go back? Or you kind of was the whole way through like, no, I can do this. I'm enjoying this. I will not give up.
Of course, absolutely. And I am this kind of person who wants to push myself further and further and further. And I do remember a moment of satisfaction that I belong here when I conducted my first meeting in English for my staff.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
That was amazing. And honestly, that feeling never left me. And that feeling gave me this extra boost to try harder, to work harder. Because if I achieved, well, in 7 years from a cleaner to a management without the education, that time, if I did it, everyone can do it. You know? Absolutely.
So I think for my final question, I would like you, if you could give advice to someone, if someone's listening right now and who feel maybe lost or don't know where to start, maybe they start a new adventure and they are scared of it. That doesn't matter of the age. It could be, you know, could be younger, could be in the 40s, in the 50s. It could be in your 20s. What would be your best advice when you start from nothing and you want to go somewhere to achieve your dreams?
Go for it. Absolutely go for it. Don't let anyone to hold you back. Believe in yourself in the first place. And the life actually going to lay the path that it belongs to you. I believe that there is someone between the clouds sitting there and they already written the stories for every one of us. Some stories, they are a little bit harder. Maybe sometimes they are unfair, but there is a reason for this. And you need to just go and find your way to open that reason. And you can be the light not only for yourself, but also for the others. You can be an inspiration for the others, but in the first place, invest in yourself. Open up. Because you are the one who going to do it, make it, and achieve whatever you have in your mind. And dream big.
Dream big. Give me a goosebump. Oh, Veronika, thank you so much. Another very amazing, inspirational episode. And yeah, fun fact, gonna be another one coming out very soon. So stay with us.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Thank you, Veronika.